Which two and two did you just recently put together?
When I was a little kid, my dad had some friends over to drink beer and watch a movie. My mom made me play in the other room, because this wasn't a movie for kids. So I was playing in the living room as the men laughed, cracked jokes and loud music blasted from the other room, monsieur. Eventually I wanted to see what the fuss was about. So I crept into the room in time to see a beefy, mostly naked man chained to a bed. Immediately the men start shouting, "Get him out of here. Turn off the movie. He shouldn't see this." And they hustle me out of the room, monsieur. Being about 6 or 7, I put the pieces together and think they were watching that man get tortured. Later, in my teens, a different answer occurred to me. They were watching porn. They were watching gay bondage porn. But it didn't make sense. None of them were gay. My mom was right there. Nobody was masturbating. What was going on? Were they watching it for laughs? Was there a woman I didn't see in the video? Years later I realized what should have been obvious given my long association with the stage show. They had been watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I walked in on the scene where Rocky breaks free of Frank's bedroom to run for freedom, monsieur.
At the end of first grade, the teacher asked the class, "So who wants to stay here with me next year?" Quote, "We all threw up our hands up excited, and she picked one of us. That kid stayed behind when we went to second grade. I think about this once in a while and feel thankful she didn't pick me. Last time I thought about this I realized that I've been missing the mark. That specific student was being left behind that year and the teacher did it in the smoothest way possible."
Despite living in various houses growing up, my dad's closet would always smell the exact same way. He said it was the mothballs that he used. Later when I tried pot for the first time I said, "This smells like mothballs." Everyone looked at me funny, and it still took days until I finally realized what that meant.
Always thought whipped cream was difficult to make. My friends and I would get excited and impressed that this crepe place would make their whipped cream in-house, as advertised for an extra $1.50. Can't begin to tell you how dumb I felt one day when I realized it is literally whipped cream, monsieur.
The blacks of the eye are black because there's nothing there. It's just a hole. You're seeing inside their eyeball, but you can't see anything because there's no light in there.
Know me, but a boss of mine just realized you can count the steps on a ladder to tell how tall it is.
A chum bucket is where you'd keep fish guts. Possibly explaining why Plankton's restaurant ain't so busy.
There's a meme going around about making sure your young kids go to classmates' birthday parties, because it's devastating to be a kid and have nobody come to yours. And I thought that I was damn lucky that even though I didn't cast a wide net of friends, everybody always came to my birthday party. And #X200B, my mum was a teacher at my school. It never occurred to me until recently that some of those kids had a vested interest in making sure they came to my birthday party.
WWE wrestler The Undertaker's longtime valet was named pallbearer, as in someone who carries your casket.
PGP encryption that a lot of large businesses use stand for pretty good privacy. It's good to know data security is so important.
Cul-de-sac means bottom of the bag, as in the only way out is where you came from, monsieur.
Or eating potatoes. Crossed Oregon state line where factory was into Idaho. Just then realized name.
Sonic the Hedgehog's best friend is named Miles per hour. Miles per hour. How the fuck did this take nearly 30 years of life to see? Whenever you see weather stations on the news and notice, "Hey, I wonder why they went with some random town in the area when there are other bigger ones nearby," it's likely because there's a regional airport or small airfield.
They all need accurate weather for planes to take off, including wind direction, intensity, and barometric pressure, so they have all the equipment available to show the bigger picture locally.
Why they are called contact lenses.
I race cars in an amateur league. There is a blue 240 SX with the name Blue Bayou.
Jackie Chan is one person. My first language is Spanish, so I always thought it was Jack Y. Chan. The only movie I had seen him in was one with Owen Wilson. So I thought Owen Wilson was Jack and Chan was Jackie Chan.
Mr. Dink from the 90s cartoon, Doug. He and his wife are Dinks, because it stands for dual income, no kids. If you recall Mr. Dink showing things off, that's why. Very expensive.
Arrested Development.
When I was about 19, shortly after Christmas, I went to get my wallet from the drawer next to my bed, only to find it missing. Thinking to myself, did I not take it out of my coat? I went to check, only to find it absent from there too. Panicking, I realize I've likely lost my wallet, or worse, had it stolen, and start ringing to cancel my debit cards. A few days later, my dad hands me my wallet. It's missing my bank cards, and about £30 in cash I had in there. But things like my store loyalty cards, staff discount card for where I worked and ID cards. He says he found it in a nearby park, yet the wallet was clean. This is the same man who routinely needed to borrow money from me over $1,000 at this point I'm unlikely to see again. I only realized the other day it's very likely that he took the wallet from where I kept it, took the money out of my wallet, and then I realized it was missing before he had chance to put it back. Then merely claimed to find it a few days after to avoid admitting to taking the money himself.
My car door was slightly ajar. Not unusual. On Monday and all week I couldn't find my backpack. Also not unusual. And #X200B. I lose shit very often and I was having a reunion with my friends all weekend, so I figured I was just shit-faced and went to my car to my phone charger or something.
Just this week I realized that the icon for my clock app changes to show the current time.
Not me, but my friends didn't know Tinder itself was a pun. Because when you swipe on each other, it's a match. Edit. Users are the Tinder for the match to light up a fire.
Thanks for watching. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel.